a gay-ass name for a gay-ass podcast.
Bill Crisafi is making his way back to That's a Gay Ass Podcast. Bill, you did this podcast in January of this year. How does it feel to be back again?
It feels correct, I think.
Correct.
Thank you for having me.
Any fucking time Bill Crisafi wants to come and chat, especially when he wears a low cut blouse such as that. We have so much to discuss. One of the most important things to discuss is I was getting really nervous about your book, if it was going to come in time, and guess what came last night?
The book. Yes, that's awesome. Yes.
Y'all, Bill Crisafi sent a gorgeous care package to a few lucky, horny people. I'm one of them. And this book is called The Glam Reaper's Guide to Slaying Life Lessons for Rebellious Souls. It's out August 18th. And yes, we're going to talk about the book. We're also going to talk about your horny ass Twitter again, which we touched on it last time. You've been posting even more since that. But I guess the real question is, since we recorded in January, it's now August. How would you characterize this year of our Lord 2026? Has it been treating you well?
Yeah, I would say so. It's been really busy, so that's good. Busy's good, I guess. But a lot of I would say busy, but then also kind of annoying.
Sure.
So that's okay though. I'll take it.
I mean, you are a creative entrepreneur, and we are going to talk about the breakdown of that. You've got stunning art that you're selling online. You've got these plushies that I'm obsessed with, this book. You've got potentially an OF that we'll discuss. But I think that before we get into the book, I think there's some important topics that you've been posting about. One is a post that you said, Vegas this week, scoping venues for our wedding. Is that true? Are you actually planning a wedding with the stunning previous guest of this podcast, Hogan?
I am. Finally. We've been together for 12 years and engaged for 10. So we finally decided to tie the knot.
Wait, you lesbians got engaged after 2 years?
Yes, I know. I mean,
so what's the wait? Why the wait for 10 years, and why now get married?
We just kind of kept going back and forth with it. We had so many grand ideas. It started off wanting to get married in Italy, and then my favorite location in Massachusetts, and then a hotel penthouse that we love in New York. And we were just kind of sick of it. And then we just decided we should just do it now. So we were going to do it we were hoping to do it kind of on our anniversary, but then I don't know, just the date is really special. Actually, we're getting married on the day that my mom passed away, which is sad, but then also I wanted to make sure she was sort of with us while we were doing it. So it'll be really nice.
That's so special. I mean, I can imagine the sort of emotional intensity of that, but what a beautiful way to honor your mom. I know that I said we're going to talk about that book later, but since you brought up your mom, can I just read the dedication that
sure.
is so, God, it's so beautiful. Okay, everybody, Bill wrote in the dedication for this book, The Glam Reaper's Guide to Slaying. This book is dedicated to my mother, Pamela Crisafi. She didn't get to see it finished, but I made sure she knew that Glam Reaper was based on her. She had a deeply loving personality that was perfectly balanced by her salty attitude. What was so salty about her attitude? Can you give us an example of her saltiness?
Yeah, she just didn't take anyone's shit. If someone was looking at her weird, she'd be like, "What are you talking about?" Very brass tacks, I guess. She had actually some of her coworkers came up to me at her funeral and they were like, "She was a tough lady." I'm yeah, I know. She just truly did not care. She always she kept wanting to be my business manager, where she would do wheel and deal for me, because she's like, "You're too soft."
Do you agree that you're too soft?
Yeah, I have I feel I'm more of a people pleaser in a way, or you don't know your own value as an artist sometimes, which I think is normal, but she just, yeah, there were times where I've gotten into some predicaments with products that weren't coming in on time, and she's called the companies. and bitch them out. So
And thank you, Pamela Crisafi. I think every artist, every gay guy deserves a brass taxi mom.
totally.
You also say, I'm so lucky that she was mine. I miss her more every single day. I wish she got to read this. Remember, your love is forever. I love you so much, Mom, Billy. I mean, it's just, I think it makes so much sense why you dedicated the book to her while you're doing that wedding date. But as a gay journalist, let me clarify, is that wedding going to be in Las Vegas?
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yes.
Am I allowed to ask when it is or how long until?
Sure. It's going to be February 27th of next year.
Holy Toledo.
Mhm.
Well, I cannot wait to see what gay wedding magic you and Hogan do. You both have really annoyingly good taste, and it's sort of frustrating that two hot artistic people found each other and didn't marry someone who only wears pleated khakis. But I digress. Bill Crisafi, since you did this podcast before, I'm going to ask you the returning question, which is, who was your first gay? What sort of welcomed you to the community, whether you knew you were a faggot trainee or not?
This is actually like, not traumatic, but like a little triggering.
Sure.
His name is Dr. Champy, and he was my fifth grade teacher, but I knew him beforehand because I think I was acting in a play in Boston that my brother somehow got me cast on as a kid, and so I had to be in Dr. Champy's acting class, which I was only like a fourth grader, and I had to go to like the sixth grade to like do the acting class or something. But he was my fifth grade teacher after that, and I will never forget, he called me husky in front of the whole class. He said I was husky like him. And I think he lived with his mom, and he was just like, I loved him in a way, but then and I knew like I don't know, there was like something there, maybe like frenemies, but he humiliated me and contributed to my eating disorder.
Thanks, Mr. What was his name?
Dr. Champy.
Wait, he was a doctor?
Yeah, I guess.
A fifth grade doctor. Who knew? Stars. You can be whatever you want.
Yeah.
I think the word husky is so triggering for so many of us. I mean, I absolutely remember wearing a husky jean and thinking, should I jump off the bridge? Time will tell.
But husky's also hot. Like I totally have changed like as a kid, it's just like, it's crazy.
Think about the time that we grew up. It was like you had to be skinny and hairless to have rights. And thank God we're living in a time when bears are in vogue, hair is in vogue, curves are here. Like it is absolutely, husky is, I would say, a compliment now, but back then it was a slur.
Totally.
You said you have a brother. Is it one bro?
I have three brothers.
Wait, did we talk about this last time? You have three brothers?
I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe
because I have three brothers as well. That's wild.
Are you the only fag?
Oh, I am the only fag. Yeah, I am.
Me too.
Are you?
Yeah.
Interesting. So, okay, where are you in the birth order?
I'm the last, the baby.
Oh, which I actually think makes sense for the gay kid to be the baby. But I'm actually smack in the middle. I've got an older, a twin, and a younger. So I've sort of lived every brother experience. Yeah.
Do you and your twin have that like twin telepathy thing?
You know, I actually kind of think we do. We definitely, as kids, had those moments where, and this is really, I think, when you just spend a lot of time with the same person, but we would start singing the same song out of nowhere at the same time. And definitely had those twin moments. But my twin is a foot shorter than me. He is a finance, straight, sweet woodworker. He was a total dick growing up, but we could not be any different now. Are your brothers artsy like you?
One of them is really artsy. He went to film school, but he's like administration for like a private school in Florida. So he still does like film stuff like on the side, but not as much as he used to. He's actually the one that got me into like the Labyrinth and the Dark Crystal and all of Jim Henson and stuff. He was really like impactful in that way.
Yeah. So in a way, he sort of got you into like the fucked uppery of the darkness,
Mhm.
which is I think is a good segue to talk about this book. Even though I got it last night, I like tore through it. It is such a funny, dark, gay book, and I kind of think it's like a children's book for horny, insecure adults like me.
Mhm.
Does that description feel spot on, or are you
Yeah,
devastated?
absolutely. I hope it's for. I want it to be for everyone because I feel. I mean, all of the characters have like a pretty like standard issue that they're dealing with, but it's something that I've gone through in my life, so it's like I'm sure it's relatable, but
Oh,
definitely,
it's very, very
yeah.
relatable. In fact, in the book, the Glam Reaper is here to slay your personal demons. And I know we all have personal demons.
Mhm.
My current demon is this tonsil surgery I have very soon. But really, that's sort of like indicative of like I have health anxiety. Like I if I feel like something's wrong, my body goes to full panic. What would you say is Bill Crisafi's one of his personal demons? What have you sort of pushed up against?
I would say like the main one would probably be imposter syndrome. Like I still just never feel, I don't know, like when you're working all the time alone and then posting on the internet as like your way of connecting with people, I never feel like I even like know what I'm doing because I'm just like alone a lot, making stuff. So
You're saying that after hundreds of thousands of followers, that imposter syndrome is still there?
I mean, yeah, it creeps in. I just never know. I'm like, if I have like a book signing, is anyone going to come? Like, I don't know. I just like get weirdly feel like I'm not going to draw a crowd or something, or like have
No,
one show up.
it's a part, I think that's a part of the human condition. And
Yeah.
I've said this before, but every single person I talk to, like you, who in my view has a stunning audience, stunning work. When I hear that you still have imposter syndrome, I'm like, it's never going away.
It
Hey.
won't, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's kind of this is life. I do though, speaking of, you're so open about your I was gonna say dick on Twitter, which thank goodness. But we'll get into that on the Substack side. But you also have posted some really funny stuff. You tweeted, "I'm dying for Bravo to come out with a show that casts Mark Jacobs, Harvey Firestein, Zach Posen, Michael Kors, and Isaac Mizrahi. Could listen to those queens bicker for hours." Bill, what do you think one of their big fights will be about?
Ooh. I think that it will only be fighting. Like I don't think they'll agree on anything, but that's the beauty of it. Or maybe, I mean, I don't know. That's so hard.
I think one of their partners was not invited to brunch, but somebody else's partner was.
Yes, that's really good. Either that or like one feels slighted because of like a side comment that didn't mean anything, but they took it and it ran with it. It's like a housewives
Exactly.
fight.
Exactly.
Love
Or
it.
maybe there's like some launch party and either somebody wore another designer's clothes, or I
Yes.
just
Yes.
I don't know. I just love where your
Mhm.
head's at. I would love to see successful gay men tear each other down. Women have been
Right.
doing it for eons, and I think it's now our
Mhm.
turn to put the worst part of ourselves on an international stage.
Definitely. I also have this thing where them in particular, because you know how I feel like a lot of gay shows or gay reality shows don't end up like panning out for some reason.
Yeah.
But I know, I mean, I've read discourse about like gay guys hating watching themselves like on TV, like they can't root for a gay guy. But I think that there's something there, like an older queen, like there's something about them that I can 100% sink my teeth into.
Oh, I actually think that's pretty spot on. And I hesitate to say why that might work, but
Hmm.
part of me thinks in a fucked up way is that if we're watching people that we're not actively worried about like if they will sleep with us or not, because if they're
Oh,
like older queens
okay.
who are
Yeah.
we're more worried about sort of their social status, and
Right.
I think that might actually translate better. But that's also just sort of like a dark part about being gay is, like you're saying,
Totally.
sometimes we can't root for each other when we're just
Mhm.
jealous of not being in their position.
I think that's, yeah.
There's something else that you posted that was actually what I was trying to get to, but who gives a fuck? You posted a butt pic with the caption "bad mood butt." I want to know, as somebody who is very vulnerable and open, what do you do when you are in a bad mood? Anything to lift your spirits?
I have been trying to like restart my day when I'm in a bad mood, where I just like decide like a what are the things called? The film things when you're
Oh
like
yeah,
action,
the
like
clacker.
yeah, the little clacker. I decide that like it's time to it's time to like start over again, and then I don't know, like take a breath or jerk off. I guess.
Take a breath or jerk off. The new hit single by Sam Smith. I also want to commend you on what you did send out in these care packages. This candle that says "Slut for October." Are you selling these?
So that is a collaboration with a brand called Heretic. They came up with a scent. The owner, Douglas, had asked me to describe growing up in New England and what it was like during the fall season. And so I sent him this like really kind of dramatic and detailed experience of like when I was a little kid wearing a cape in the woods and like walking through the woods and what that felt like and smelled like, and sent him a bunch of photos of landscapes that I like, photos of landscapes that I took over different falls in New England, and then he came up with that scent, and it is so spot on.
It's gorgeous. I mean, I immediately showed it to Matt because he's got really good taste, and we both are obsessed. And also, I think we both love being sluts in the fall. I think there's something really exciting that we're getting closer to that fall.
Absolutely.
You also put in the care package a Trixie Cosmetics lip gloss.
Yes,
Um,
Trixie Cosmetics donated some products to the care package, which was so nice.
do you mind if I put it on for this episode?
Go ahead, please.
Okay, let me move my camera so I can actually see what we're working with.
Fantastic.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
Uh,
Honestly,
Glam.
kind of cunt.
Yeah, I live.
You know, it makes me want to like just like
Mhm.
pucker up and be like a really like a pretty tonguey kiss.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what this makes me want to do. Why have you, as a gay journalist, I want to know, why have you started showing full pole on Twitter? Did something change?
Well, I mean, you could basically see it in my underwear anyway. And I think Hogan and I just both like looked at each other one day and we were just like, whatever. So that's where then we were just like, okay, fine, let's do it. And
For
then
you. I know it sounds silly, but it actually is inspiring to me to see you have like the Instagram with like this really incredible art, and then to see you have this smutty Twitter and the OF. Like, I don't know. There's like, you contain multitudes. I know I asked you this last time, but it just like I can't help but feel curious. Like, do people either in your family or friends who you don't hook up with, like, does it ever come onto their desks and you have to talk about the smuttiness that you're putting out there?
Not yet, so I'm kind of scared for the day. But I think Hogan's mom did listen to our old episode, which because I was the first one to do an episode with you, and so I was like panicking about that. But I mean, whatever at this point. And I think a lot of I talked to my straight girlfriends and stuff. I don't know, they know basically everything. One of them bullied me into showing her my butthole, but her and I are super close. She's like, you got to show me. So I just sent her a quick video. I was like, whatever.
I love her, whoever she
She's
is.
funny.
Queen.
Yes.
None of my friends have asked to see my hairy butthole, but I actually don't think anybody actually has, except for my husband. So I don't know. I keep mine close to the vest. Yeah. Where I'm a traditionalist, I guess. Well, so listen, I do have so many questions on the horny side, so I want to make sure to get us over there in a moment. But before I do so, let's do a couple of final questions about the book. You have talked about how it like was a really difficult time for you to actually write the book. Was it because of your mother's passing? Was it because of creative demons? How would you describe the process of actually getting this from an idea to out in the world?
Right. Well, Penguin Random House reached out to me about creating something with them.
Yeah.
And we landed on this idea. I had just been so sick of, I feel like making art for the algorithm. A lot of my posts are sort of designed to be shared, and which I'm so grateful for. And like, that's just my main source of income, is to make products of my art. So I was just getting really burnt out on it and wanted to change in some way, but I didn't know how. I still don't know how. But that was happening. And then that was like, around the time of the pandemic. And when my mom told me she was sick, I had a feel like when the pandemic was announced, not like right when it was going on, but I had this like gut feeling that my mom was going to get sick, but not from like COVID or something. I just knew, and
Really?
it happened. Yeah, it was really weird. And so, going through, she actually lived a lot longer than anyone with the kind of cancer that she had, which again, she's a tough bitch. So she really held off for as long as she could. And then, last year she got pneumonia that ended up being like the catalyst for her passing. But yeah, it was just like a whole, I wasn't really like, not that I wasn't interested in these characters anymore. I had just like, I felt like I exhausted myself with them, like over, the time that I had already created with them. And so getting to go back into drawing them felt kind of cool, because I was expanding on them and like kind of coming up with different situations. What if they all knew each other? That's like something that I like. They show up in art together, but I never really thought about like how they interact.
Well, I have to tell you that as I read through this, it's so genuinely funny, and
Thank you.
the illustrations are so fucking good. There's towards the beginning, there's a Dolly Parton reference, and then you see this like kind of gothic moment with giant tits.
Yep.
There's also like, I'm dying to see this animated on a series. Like it's sometimes hard when like a friend like you sends a book and then you hope that it's really good, but this, I have zero reservations telling people to go get it. It's just like, it gets the job so done in such a beautiful way. I also love to ask sort of behind the scenes questions as somebody who has fallen into a creative business. I did not think I was going to be doing a podcast as like my source of income, and Substack has really become the biggest sort, like basically what pays all of my bills, which is exciting but also like unexpected. Can I ask you, the not numbers but sort of if there's a pie chart of how you're making a life out of being an artist but also a slut, what percentage of your income is coming from like prints, online shit, OF? Is that okay to ask?
Sure. I haven't dedicated enough time to the OF as I would like. It did help me out and pay rent for like 3 months, which was great. And I definitely want to like be spending more time like exploring that while also working my shop. But I had just taken fulfillment back from my former fulfillment center, so I'm shipping everyone's orders out, which this morning I was like running to UPS with like 3 trash bags filled with plushies and scarves and stuff. So it's a lot of work.
That sounds like hell, if I'm being honest. I did that gay ass merch. We did that. I've taken a pause to it because it was such a hellish experience, but I send you my thoughts and prayers.
Yes, thank you. So mostly the shop, but that was just, I hadn't come out with anything new for a while, so I had like a little lull that I was able to start, monetizing my horniness, I guess.
And thank goodness gracious.
I do have one story though too about the book. Okay, I accidentally sort of sexted with the Penguin staff.
I'm dying to know how that happened.
Yes, we had a WhatsApp text thread where we could just share ideas, and I could upload drawings and show the people that I was working with.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine and I were jokingly sending each other, those emojis that are like overly sexual? They're completely nude. Yeah. So we would just like try to find the craziest ones and send them back and forth to each other. And me, Hogan, and a couple other friends were on a road trip to a gay campground in West Virginia, and I was in the front seat finishing a drawing for the book. And I took a picture of it to send to them to see what their thoughts were. And I accidentally sent them an emoji that was like, I don't know if she was peeing or what it was, but she had a straw and she was drinking it. And I sent it in the WhatsApp thread with the Penguin staff. And I immediately screamed and deleted it. But one of the girls that works there, her and I have like met in person when Hogan and I were in London, and I would have been totally fine with it being her that saw it. But there's this other guy that I wasn't as close with, and I'm pretty like a straight guy, so I'm like, sorry.
Will you clarify, was she drinking her own juice?
Yeah. It was
Wow.
dripping, and she had the straw in it on the
Beautiful. A beautiful visual.
ground.
Wow. You know what? That's actually the most like Bill Crisafi sext mistake, which is like a fucked up horny emoji drinking her own juice.
Yes.
I think that's really, you can't help but create
It was amazing.
fucked up point of view. I love that so much. I something tells me that these people working at Penguin sort of know your zhuzh, and if they saw a self drinker, it wouldn't fuck up your deal. God, that's beautiful. I am going to ask you about that camping experience because I think it sounded really horny. But before we do that, over on the Substack side, I want to ask you the final podcast question, which your answer can change from day to day, and that question is: if the world was ending and you could only save one character actress, who would you say?
So I listened, or I was trying to find my old answer. I don't even know if we did this the last time.
I don't know if we did either. So maybe it's your first time answering.
My answer is Miss Piggy.
Breathe it in. Miss Piggy.
Right.
Was actually, she almost never comes up, Bill, but Hannah Solo, who understudies Mary in Oh Mary, she named Miss Piggy as a dream casting for Mary. So I want to tell you that she's coming back into the zeitgeist.
Love it. I'm so happy for it. And then I was thinking, if I had already answered it, I know that was my answer. So I'm also going to say Anna Faris because you and I were geeking out over Scary Movie.
My pussy's gone crazy. Yeah. Can I controversially tell you that the new movie, I want her to work till the end of day. I want her to, be treated like the queen she is. There's a movie that should be a gay dream that is sort of a girls trip adjacent film that's with
the new one that's coming out.
Yeah, it's with Anna Faris, Leslie Mann, Michelle Buteau, Isla Fisher, and I'm gonna go see it and support. It almost feels like those women would never be friends with each other, and I can't describe why, but when I was watching that trailer, I was like, this doesn't feel organic. Is that okay for me to say on a podcast? Can you tell me?
That's totally fine. I need to rewatch the trailer. I was just like watching for her moments, because I was just excited to see her in another movie so soon,
right?
Like soon after Scary Movie. So
I love all of those women so much, genuinely. Isla Fisher in Wedding Crashers of all things, she was so fucking nuts and hornily delicious. Michelle Buteau, I have been obsessed with her since I was a freshman at NYU. She performed at Welcome Week, and I have been obsessed with her ever since. Leslie Mann, I've been, even like This Is 40, which I'm not saying is like the best movie of all time. Like, I think she's just such a fucking comedic genius. But then all of them together feels just like, will it work? I can't wait to find out. But
exactly,
maybe
that's the fun part.
Yeah, that's the fun part. How lucky are we to be living in a world where they're giving us that chance? All right, Bill Crisafi, you have given us Miss Piggy, Anna Faris, and, of course, the Glam Reaper's Guide to Slaying. Will you tell these listeners where to follow you and how they can get this stunning book?
You can follow me on Instagram at Bill Safi, so Bill Safi, and then I think my TikTok is just Bill Crisafi. But my link tree has the link to the book where you can get it on Amazon, Walmart, your favorite bookstore, literally like wherever you want to support, you can find it. Oh, sorry. And Unabridged Books. Here in Chicago, I'm doing signed copies, and there's a separate link on my link tree that allows you to purchase a signed copy.
Oh, delicious. Everybody go buy the book, get a signed copy if you're nasty, and follow Bill both on Instagram and TikTok, but also I will link that Twitter because it is finger licking good, and yes, hairy as hell. So we're going to get into the hair. We're going to get into a certain account that just posted a clip called Prince of Edging. We are going to talk about a recent piece of footage you posted with your soon-to-be husband Hogan. But before we do that, do you have any memorable tales that come up that's either in this current year since we've talked that were either like maybe like a campground hookup or a cruising sitch? Anything memorable that comes to mind?
Yeah, actually, when I saw you at a party in Los Angeles, I have a pretty good story from after that.
Oh, I cannot wait. Okay, let me
Uh-huh.
readjust. And okay, so paint the picture. Was it I saw you at Hot Dog, yes?
Yes. Well, I feel like I was being a little bit of a menace like all night anyway. And then I remember when we were talking, you were saying that you heard that it gets like pretty horny later, but you had never stayed late enough, and then I stayed
Yeah,
late
it's a
enough.
Sunday night. It's a Sunday night. I just
I
like
know it
got
is
shit
hard.
to
It is
do.
hard.
But
We were on vacation, so why not?
wait, so you okay, so you stayed later. What
I
happened?
stayed later. Well, I ended up. I think Hogan went home earlier, and our friends. I thought our friends had left because I couldn't find them anymore. And I got a ride home with this guy that I was making out with, and we ended up fucking in his car.
For the rest of the interview, head to Substack, linked below, where you will also find chats with Colin Braun, Rich Burns, Christopher Patterson Rosso, Tyler Varvel, Sebastian Dino, Cody Silver, Johnny Sibley, Sam Altizer, and more. It's at substack.com/@EricWills. And I will see you there for a gorgeous, hairy, horny time. I love you. Bye.